As I was thinking, I was listening to the 21-day meditation challenge with Deepak Chopra. Anybody else listening to that at all?
Yeah.
Isn't it great?
Yes.
Yeah, it's really good. So we decided this one we want to get on CD and then we can use parts of it, which is fantastic. But as always, I always try to find something a little funny. And this one, it's I called my mom. Am I out? Can you guys hear? Yeah? Is this good? Okay, it just seems like it's quiet. All right. There we go, right? Yeah, there it is. I knew it. Thanks, Denise. Awesome. All right. So I've been calling my mom, and I'll call, in our movement, it's called New Thought, right? And, there's people that will, whenever, you're just stating what's so for yourself, like, gee, my knee is kind of aching today. I think I need to take care of myself. Well, you should say an affirmation around that, and then you just want to deck them because, sometimes you want to just be heard and you're going to go ram, 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 and then you'll get over it. And yes, you'll say your affirmation later and you'll say, yes, my knee is vibrant and healthy. But meantime, sometimes we just have to express, and that's okay. Because if we don't express, it holds in your body. And I know way too many people that get illnesses from not saying out what they need to say. Whether it's emotionally, it doesn't matter. But it's about speaking out, having somebody hear you, then you can let it go and you probably won't ever talk about it again. But if we don't have somebody to listen to us and to just be that presence, that's so powerful and that is so healing. And so here's what some of the old-time New Thought people would say. I'm going to read you a little joke. All right. Okay. The following, here it is. A Catholic, a Baptist, and a New Thought member, I know, you already know, right? Go to hell. The Catholic looks around, sees where he is, and starts crying out, I should have gone to Mass more often. I shouldn't have stolen that pin from the bank. I said too few Hail Marys. And wanders off in distress. He's getting a little crispy there. The Baptist notices where he is and states, this must be a mistake. I know people. I'm making a phone call. And purposefully travels off to do just that. The New Thought member sets herself in the corner, rocking back and forth. This is not hell. This is not hell. This is not hell. It is not hot. This is not hell. It is not hot. Right? Okay.
There used to be a Catholic, a Baptist, and a Jewish.
Well, yeah. Now you like the New Thought people, so we're right there. And what's interesting, I've been reading, I'm going to make this the book of the month when we get them in next week, but Pastor Joel Osteen actually teaches New Thought all the time. And I was looking through his books, and I found one, How to Use the Power of I Am. And I thought, darn, we've been doing this forever, but it's cool. What I love is that he has thousands and thousands of followers that are getting New Thought. There's a film that we showed here, and it's called, I think it is called just, New Thought. It was called about a film, a documentary about the New Thought movement. And they actually put him in it because they consider him to be part of this awareness with Science of Mind, Unity, any of the New Thought movements that are into positive thinking. So he definitely is right up there with all of that. So I'm going to have you do, anybody allergic to fragrances at all? Okay, then we won't spray you. But okay. Well, that's why I'm asking. So what I wanted to share, Mary Wesley was at our intuitive fair, our Nurturing the Soul, okay? And she has created fragrances from different locations. So while you're listening, I figured this would be a great way for you to go within if you want to be sprayed. And we can have, Sid, would you want to do the honors, darling? Sure. And just, okay, so this is the Lourdes spray. Located in southwestern France in the foothills of the Pyrenees Mountains is the grotto of Masabella, where in 1858 the Virgin Mary miraculously appeared to a local woman. The grotto is known worldwide for the sanctuaries Notre Dame, de Lourdes, or the Domain, a major Catholic pilgrimage site. The holy water used in the mist is for the reflection, prayer, and the intention of positive change. So while you're listening, you will be infused with positive change. And if you don't want to have a little over your head, then put your hand up and Sid won't anoint you, okay? He's going to come around, baby. I mean, unless you could go right, you could come up if you want, but I think go around would be much better, okay? So we'll do that. All right, so very good. So anyway, what I wanted to start out with was a quote, and this is actually out of the Meditations. And this is a quote you will never guess from who. If you hear a voice within you that says, you cannot paint, then by all means paint, and that voice will be silenced. So who do you think said that? Vincent van Gogh. I know, isn't that incredible? So as he was having these voices in his head saying, you're not a painter, you're horrible, he painted and painted and painted and painted. And to this day, he never, ever, ever became famous during his lifetime, did he? I mean, that man suffered, and now when you look at his art, thank goodness that he did paint, because we get the benefit of his beautiful, beautiful work. But I wanted to share, I always like to watch, like I said, I was watching the Oprah Masterclass, and she always has different people on there. And do you all know who Kevin Hart is? Okay, Kevin Hart is a black comedian, and he has been in, 5 or 6 major films. He sold out. Oh, Soul Plane. Okay, so here's a story about Soul Plane. So Kevin Hart says, he was trying to figure out, he was getting on the comedy circuit, and he was trying to break into it. And here's why I was talking about a negative mentor. So he goes to this major comedy club in New York City, and what would happen, the owner would sit back and he would critique, oh, thank you. I'm being blessed. And he would critique him, and so Kevin Hart did his gig, and he was in his 20s at that time. And if you don't know who he is, Google him, because he's really a funny guy. And he did his whole gig, and, he'd been popular, and he was at every single comedy club in New York City except for this one. So that was his challenge. So he does a set, sits down, and the owner takes him into his office. He looks at him like this and says, oh, you really need to think about something else. You really need to think about another way of earning your living, because you will never make it. Now, I want you to know the guy's a billionaire, and he now sells out to stadiums, okay? This is fast forward to now. So Kevin Hart, he says he was with a friend that took him there to have the interview or the audition, and the friend looks at him and he goes, that's not true. Let's go. And so Kevin says, oh, well, if he doesn't think it's true, then it must not be true. And that is really, that friend of his was the best friend that he ever had, because he was able to shift and believe that instead of, oh, that guy says I'm a bad guy, blah, and I'm never going to make it. So now, later, the owner of that club dies. And I don't know, maybe it was 5 years, 10 years down the road, I'm not sure. And he said, Kevin says, they started calling him to come perform in the same club that the previous owner said, you will never make it. And they were begging him to come to perform in that comedy club. And the reason I'm saying is that he had to, my talk is detach and let go. And he had to detach from that negativity and had to detach from that man, and that was his opinion. It was only one person's opinion. And I thought, this is great. And I thought about all the negative people that have affected our lives like that, haven't you? And immediately I thought, I was in the insurance business, And there was a man, and he was such a little brat. He was like a little Napoleon guy, and he was my sales manager, all right? So I was out there, and I'm selling, and I'm meeting with all these people, and he kept saying to me, well, I don't know if you're ever going to make it. He would always say this to me, and I thought, really, really? So I was recruited into another insurance company, and I said, I am going to be the top. I'm going to get on the top of their contest or the top 10, and I'm going to show that guy. Because of him telling me I wasn't any good, I wanted to show him I was good. And so I eventually did become, I was in like the top 3. So I made a copy of it, put it in the mail. I know, right? Dear Steve, just wanted you to be aware of how wonderfully I'm doing now, or something like that. I didn't even say snarky. I was just like, popped it in the mail, and that felt so good. Doesn't it, though? And that's really when we use the negativity, we find the gold. Kevin Hart kept saying throughout this interview, you got to find the gold, you've got to find the gold, you got to find the gold. The other story, he was talking about his mom and dad, and unfortunately his father ended up being on drugs, and he eventually did get off of drugs, but his mother ended up dying of cancer. So he and his brother, because their name is Hart, he said, we wanted to embody our last name, and we wanted to create a legacy for our name and our family. So what he did, he said that they chose to be uplifting and happy and joyful during the time that the mother was dying. And they made that choice. He said it was hard on us not to be morose, not to be sad around her. But what we decided to do is that we wanted to create a beautiful, joyful experience for the end of her days, and that she could remember that or be in that energy and that presence. Because he said, if you ever want to know about positive thinking, talk to me. I'm like, oh, okay. So it's great. Isn't that beautiful? And I thought about that. How would you like to be if you were dying and you had to go? Would you like to be around people that are crying or that are happy and joyful? And I remember when Dick was dying, we would go over there and we'd joke with him, and not at the end, but before he became, not real responsive. But when he was, we would make him, Roxy would go make him laugh. He would laugh. And that's really what he did. Remember when we would come here, you guys, and Dick would sit here and he would laugh and laugh and laugh. And he was losing it, but who cares? He was happy, that's the way I want to go, and it really is. So, I was listening to, I was thinking about Joel Goldsmith, because, I was in a study group, and we used to say affirmations all the time, and I wrote down probably a list of 20 statements that Joel has you say in order to deepen your consciousness. One of them, my favorite, is, God is the doer within that does the work. That is a statement to allow you to detach, to let go, and allow the divine to bring you even more than what you want, okay? Or what you even know that you want. So I'm sitting there, and I was taking a walk yesterday, and I wasn't feeling great, and I'm like, I'm going to do my statements of truth, okay? And so I can't remember, but one of them is, God is the doer within that does the work. God is the doer within that does the work, meaning that I can simply let go, I can detach, and I don't have to worry about it. I can just allow the divine to take care of all the details. And I say that a lot in my prayers too. So how would you like to have that be for you? So as I was listening to Deepak Chopra, and I can't remember what day, so don't ask me, but it's on the 18 or 19. But he was talking about how we have to give our permission to laugh and to play, okay? So that reminded me, and Barbara will remember this very well, we had Japanese healers here. She's already laughing. And what I'm going to have us do today, because when you engage in play, you connect to the divine. And when you engage in play, as Deepak Chopra always says this, the pure potentiality of your transformation will happen. And so, and so I'm thinking, okay, here's what he says. The pure potentiality of transformational ideas and solutions come to us. I am boundlessly creative. And so that's his exact words. I wrote it down and I go, yeah, go Deepak. So it was really great. But the affirmation was, I play, I create, I succeed. Do you love that? I'm like, yeah, and I'm thinking, I'm working all the time. I'm freaking working all the time. And I go, I got to have a day to play. And Roxy and I say that too. We're high output. Anybody else high output? You're working all the time? George, you're a high output. You're working all the time. So anyway, it's really about that. And when we detach and when we say those statements and then we use that truth about, for ourselves, then we're able to release into, I'm going to say, showing us or shining the flashlight on the pathway. But if we don't do that deep inner work, then we're going to go, well, I don't know what I want. I don't know what, and it's like, okay. So I remember a long time ago when I was just doing personal training. That's all I did. I did Pilates, and I thought, there's no way in hell that I'm going to ever be able to make any money off of personal training. And I really wanted to get out of the insurance business. Oh, Lord, I hated it. So anyway, one guy in my office said, you really need to do your spiritual stuff, and you're going to be able to make money that way. Oh, really? Oh. And then I had a couple of other friends say, hey, if you get a Pilates bed and start doing personal training, you'll make a lot of money. I go, really? So I did. And I remember that day because I was swimming in my pool and I'm going, okay, God, show me. Is it right to buy a Pilates reformer machine? And that's when the crows started flying over. And that's when I knew, because I went within and I asked the divine, is this the right choice? And I got the confirmation. Okay, so I hadn't been here at the center very long when we were bringing in, I don't know, maybe 2 years, you think, Barbara? I don't know how long it was. But we had Rindo, and he's a Japanese healer. Okay, so we had the three of them. They were like the Three Stooges. You don't remember. I don't think you were here, Bobby, yet. Okay, so anyway, these guys, we have pictures of them, and they took the toys from the kids. You guys never saw these pictures. And they were playing. The kids were doing their photos, for the preschool, and they jumped in, and they were taking pictures of themselves with rubber duckies, stuffed animals, and the three of these grown men playing and enjoying, and they were all three healers. And we've got to find those pictures because it's priceless, and we should put those on the board. Because these men embody joy and happiness and fun. So what I wanted to do today, and I can have you guys hand these out, and you can take a few for yourself if you want, because we have a lot. And it's the 7 rules to be happy. Believe me, Barbara has one. Barbara, you still have it on your wall? Okay, it's because we're going to have Barbara do one of these, okay? So what I'm going to do is have people come up, and you're going to get into your play. You got to get into your play with this, okay? Because Barbara, I always remember Barbara doing it so great. You always did it so funny, all right? So here's the 7 rules to be happy. I am lucky. Lucky results will become reality when we say, I am lucky, okay? We will attract poor results when we use mean words, and I love, because this is their translation, mean words such as being disgusted, foolish, damn, or words of anxiety and uneasiness. So somebody want to get up and do the, I am lucky. You have to act it out. Get up and come on, just stand up. I am lucky. You guys say it. Come on. I am lucky. I am lucky. Okay. I am lucky. Okay, we're all going to do it together. Okay, go ahead. Barbara?
I'm lucky.
I am 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 lucky. There, that's what we want. Okay, so I want each one, we're going to do a different way of saying it. So we're going to have some fun. We're going to get you out of yourself today, all right? Because if Deepak Chopra says that's the way to God, I'm knowing it. Okay, so let's create it to happen. Okay, this is good. Because she always did the I am lucky. Barbara's awesome at that. I am great. Please always praise and hear for ourselves by saying, I am great. Oh, and cheer for ourselves. Yeah, well, okay. We will become the person by the way we think about ourselves, and we will become an incapable and useless person when we pull ourselves down by saying such as, I am not capable of, or I am useless, or I am not worthy. That's one in our society. Okay, so I am great. Okay, somebody else. Come on. Bob, come on. You could think of one. Go ahead.
I'm great.
I'm great. Okay, let's repeat after Bob. I'm great. All right. I like that.
Do that a couple more times.
Yeah, a couple more. Go ahead.
I'm great.
I'm great. Yeah, I'm great. I love it. And if you want to come up and be on camera, you could do that too, beloveds, okay? Okay, so, this is, Barbara, you say this a lot. It is pleasant. Okay, but we got to have somebody new say this. You know, Denise, we're going to have to get Denise to say one of these. It is pleasant. Happiness will come to us when we smile and say, it is pleasant. If we cry or say, uninteresting or boring, we will attract more hard times. Okay, it is pleasant. Who wants to do his play? You're an actor. Come on, Sid.
Okay.
Come on, let's go. Improv.
It is pleasant.
It is pleasant. Let's say it again.
It is pleasant.
It is pleasant.
Yes.
And again.
It is pleasant.
It is pleasant. I like it. Thank you. Okay. All right. Number 4 rule, to be happy. I am so happy. I'm so lucky. All right. So you're going to walk around, after this talk, you are going to walk around all week saying this stuff. I guarantee it. Okay. Congratulations. Please say congratulations to celebrate another's success. Show compassion. Please pray for others' happiness. The words we have spoken will come back to us several times stronger than what we have said to others. Speaking ill or bad mouth behind someone's back, complaining, or being angry will lower our luck and fortune. So you're going to say congratulations?
Yeah, this is-
Okay, go.
Congratulations.
Congratulations. Do it again.
Congratulations.
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 Congratulations. Thank you. Awesome. Okay. Now, thank you. Please say thank you 10 times when we go through an unpleasant event. Oh, I have not read this in many years. Okay. Please say thank you 10 times when we go through an unpleasant event. Good things will start happening when we cut off the chain of dark and heavy-hearted thinking. Wow. Okay, Rick? 10 times. We got to do 10 times on this one.
Thank you.
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 Thank you. 2 more, Rick.
Thank you.
Thank you. 1 more.
Thank you.
Thank you. I like it. Woo! Wow. You know what? I have not read this in a long time. Say it 10 times when you go through an unpleasant event. In the moment, shift out the energy. That's great. Wow. Okay, being grateful for. Please saying being grateful for when we have good, I can't say that, good something expected? Results expected. I know, I can't read the writing. By declaring being grateful something in advance which has not happened yet, then it will become reality. All right, so who wants to do being grateful for? Come on, come on. Roxy, you want to do being grateful for? Come on up. We'll do it 3 times at least. Being grateful for.
Being grateful for being here.
Being grateful for being here.
Being grateful for being alive.
Being grateful for being alive.
Being grateful for having my health.
Being grateful for having my health. All right. And I'm going to add being grateful for unlimited wealth.
Yes.
Being grateful for unlimited wealth. Being grateful for love.
Being grateful for love.
Anything else? Would pop out a few more?
Being grateful for living in Santa Barbara.
Woo! Okay. Being grateful for living in Santa Barbara for as long as I want to. Okay. Anything else? Being grateful for. Being grateful for our families.
Yes.
Okay. All right. And in the middle it says happy, living happily by using words of happiness. I like it. Okay, so the last one is, I am sure that it will be fine. Please continue saying, I am sure that it will be fine until we feel confident and are sure. Please continue saying, I am sure that it will be fine when we feel anxious or worry, when we do not know what to do, and when we face troubles. Then the problem will be resolved smoothly. So I am sure it will be fine. Who wants to say that besides the Rev? Come on, who else wants to get up here? Okay, Denise? All right. Where Denise? Yeah, get out of the box. Get out of the purgatory up there. I am sure that it will be fine. At least 3 times.
I am sure that it will be fine.
I am sure that it will be fine.
I'm sure it'll be fine.
I'm sure it'll be fine.
I'm sure it will be fine.
I'm sure it will be fine. Awesome. Yay! Isn't that great? So that's how we engage in our play, and we engage in a way, when we detach and let go, we create what we desire. We want to be sure. We want to connect in. We want to do all that and have a vision. But we also want to make sure that we have that quality and feeling tone in order for it to manifest. So one quick story, one real fast one, and then I'll close out. There was a woman in, I'm not sure where she was. I'm going to say Alabama. And so she was there, and it was something like really, really isolated. So let's say she was in the Ozarks or something up in the mountains. And she said to this minister one day, I really want to have a man in my life. But I live in the boondocks. And the minister says, well, I know a perfect way for you to start to create energy for that man to come in. So start taking classes, singing, whatever you can do in order to make yourself happy. And so she did. She started taking dance classes and singing and doing artwork and all kinds of things. So she's going through all these classes, and she's having a ball, and she's so joyful and happy. And one day, the plumbing in her house goes out. So she has to call a plumber, and he has to drive up the mountaintop. And pretty soon, she sees this guy, and ooh, he's kind of fine. And so they start to talk, and they're getting to know each other. And they ended up dating and getting married. Wow. So Spirit brought the man right to her doorstep. And that was a creation of playing and being happy and joyful. So I'm saying this because when we detach and let go, and she did that, then we're able to manifest whatever we desire in our lives. And it ain't easy. So it's like they say, 7 rules to be happy. Put this on the back of your door. Start to say it. And I love that, their translation is so cute because they're Japanese. And it's the Japanese Kakota system energy. And I love it because it's really what we teach here. It's fabulous. So we're going to close with this affirmation that Deepak said on one of the meditations. I play, I create, I succeed. Let's say it together. I play, I create, I succeed. Okay, 2 more times with feeling. I play, I create, I succeed. 1 more time. I play, I create, I succeed. Woo! And so it is. Woo! All right. Thank you all, and we're going to have a solo.